In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Aurora Duo Cart fountain pen. I'll go over the specs, I'll do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, it really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. So this is the Aurora Duo Cart. This is from their Archivi Storici line, which is their vintage or their sort of historical pen line. Another pen in there is the Aurora Steel. I did a review of a vintage one a while ago. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. That pen seems to be like the exact same pen as the original. This is not. I'm kind of confused by some of the choices that they made with this pen. Like, why is it called the Duo Cart? It doesn't have a dual cartridge system like the Duo Cart. There was an Aurora 88K, which had a cartridge. There was the 888, which had flat tops like this and more of a longer metal cap. So I have no idea what they were thinking of, but this pen definitely looks like a pen from the 50s. I like this a lot better than the Parker 51 recreation that Parker came out with. The nib on that pen just looks all wrong. Again, I don't know why they call it the Duo Cart. This is the Aurora Luca Di Ponte book. I have a couple of books in this series. I also have a Omas one. These are pretty rare books, but they have very good history on Aurora, especially those older pens. Now, if we look here, these are the original Duo Carts, and you can see this dual cartridge system here, which is not present here. Here we have a standard Aurora cartridge converter, so I don't know why they call it a Duo Cart. Kind of strange. But if you notice here that this is the collectability rating, these diamonds, these are ones, so they are not that rare. So Aurora made an absolute ton of them. I think they made over 1 million Aurora 88 type pens, which would include the Duo Cart. Now going to another book here. This is the history of the Italian fountain pen. We can see more Aurora Duo Carts here, which again, they have a shorter cap. But looking over here, we have the Aurora 888, which also has the Duo Cart system. This to me looks the most like this pen. We have these lines on the cap here. None of them have flat tops like this, but this one has an angled top, whereas these other ones were rounded more like the original 88. I've had two of the 88s with the Nick Argenta cap. Really, really nice pens. A very nice complement to the Parker 51. Looking at this pen, I think it most resembles an Aurora 888. Now, let's walk through it. So we have flat tops here. We have a little metal piece at the end there, and then just plain. And I think this will stand on the desk pretty easily. It does. Yep, those are just flat tops. And then we have a very nice looking clip here, which is kind of flat at this front point and kind of comes to a point, and then it's beveled kind of on two sides here. Looks nice. And then up close here, we have the Aurora logo here, and made in Italy because all Aurora pens are made in Italy by Aurora. Black plastic body here. It tapers towards the end, but for the most part, it's pretty thick all the way through. Just a very nice streamlined look here. It is a friction fit cap, and it's a looser cap, which is something I don't really like about this. It does post, however, it comes loose pretty easily. I think it might be getting better the more that I use it. I've had this for about 3 weeks, but occasionally it comes loose. I have dropped the cap, which is something I pretty much almost never do. So the cap is really problematic for me, I would say. Now we have the semi-hooded nib here. This is steel. And on this pen, it only comes in medium, which is a weird choice. Definitely a downside that you don't have any variety. However, it is a really nice writing nib. Very smooth, very juicy nib. I really do like it. The benefit of this semi-hooded design is you have this long grip section, so you can really hold this pretty far down if you want to. So I do like that. Very comfortable. You do have a metal cap here. There's some top heaviness, but because it's shorter and it sits further down, it's a really comfortable pen to use, except for when the cap comes loose, which is more than I would like. So don't love that aspect. We have a cartridge here, and this takes the Aurora king size cartridge or one of their converters. They are slightly different than a international converter. Sometimes the Parker converters and cartridges are interchangeable, but you kind of have to test them out. So really, you're going to want to use an Aurora converter or cartridge just to be safe. Now, in the box, I don't normally show the box, but we have this cardboard box, flimsy kind of cardboard box, but you have this vintage looking ad on here, you know, Archivi Storici from that line, and it says legendary pens belonging to fabulous years. And this is a medium and it's black. It has they call this the guilloche cap, hooded nib. Okay. So inside, and I took this thing out here, you get a ink bottle with that Archivi Storici kind of cover on it, and you've got like a little wax seal on there. Pretty nice. You get a certificate of authenticity. You get their king size converter or cartridge. You get two of them in black, and you also get their converter, which is nice. The Aurora converter is not super special in any way, but they kind of charge a lot for it, so it's nice that it's included here. And then you just have this kind of standard looking box. Basically, when you buy this pen, you get this nice gift set. It doesn't come any other way to my knowledge. Let's do some measurements. It is roughly 134, I would say, millimeters long, and then uncapped 119, I would say, and then posted we're right about 139. So it's not a super long pen, which I do like that aspect of it, and compare it to, this is a Lamy Vista, a Platinum 3776. It's definitely the shortest here. Now, in terms of the grip section, right above those metal rings there, the little clutch rings, it's 11.2. And then you can really go pretty far, just almost like right to where the feed kind of starts there, 8.8. So full-size grip section, long grip section, really a comfortable pen to use, assuming that the cap stays seated on the back. However, it is perfectly or more comfortable even with it uncapped. So that's always a nice option. Looking at 25.67 grams capped, and that's with like a half full cartridge, and about 13.9 uncapped. It's not at all a heavy pen. You're not going to confuse it for a Bic, but not super heavy. It is very comfortable. The only issue again is this cap, which easily comes loose. For this writing sample, I'm going to be using the Papermind Mitsubishi Bank Paper Notebook. These are really excellent with fountain pens, and for Blake's Broadcast viewers and subscribers, you can get 10% off with code BB10 at checkout. Okay, so let's do that, and let's see if this cap stays on there. Duo card, medium, and this is Aurora Black. I really love Aurora ink. Until recently, they only came in two colors, black and blue, and then they came out with the blue-black. And now they have some other colors, which I haven't tried, but the blue, black, and the black are really, really nice. So fast writing. Really flawless performance. The one thing I would say is, because of that looseness of the cap, sometimes it takes just a second to get it started, but once it's writing, it's really no issue. That is honestly almost not even worth mentioning, because it goes pretty much right away. And it's not like I'm writing a sentence and then I go back down and it's stopped writing. So I really think that, yeah, performance-wise, it's really good. I just noticed that maybe the seal could be a little bit better on the cap. Now, reverse writing, it's definitely scratchier, as you would expect. It's a little bit smaller. I don't know. I don't really like that for this. In terms of flexibility, it's a nail. There's, I mean, basically zero. But that's pretty much it. It's a really good writer. So what are my pros and cons for the Aurora Duo Cart fountain pen? Well, I think the design here is really nice. We have a very streamlined look, and it looks like a pen from the 1950s, even though it isn't really an exact replica of any of those duocart fountain pens from the 50s. Now, one of the benefits of that semi-hooded nib is that you get this really nice long grip section, which makes this pen very comfortable. Also, the cap seats pretty far down onto the pen, so it's not too long. You don't have a lot of overhang on the back side of the pen, so it's a very comfortable pen to use. We also have an Aurora nib because Aurora makes all their own nibs in-house, so very smooth, nice writing, medium nib. Really like the performance out of that. What else? I also like the package that it comes with. I'm not a big fan of the box, and it is kind of a papery box, but it's got a nice vintage advertising look to it, and you get a bottle of ink, and you get a cartridge and a converter, and the Aurora converter is kind of expensive for whatever reason, so it's nice to see that included in the package. Now, in terms of cons, the biggest con for me, I think, is the way that this cap posts onto the back of the pen. It's not very secure. I do think it is getting better the more that I use it. I've had this pen for maybe 3 weeks and I've been using it a lot, and I think it's getting a bit better, but I don't have a lot of confidence in it. It comes loose and it is really distracting, and it's definitely the number one thing that I do not like about this pen, and it does seem to be something that is inherent in the design or the way that the pen is made, because I've talked to other people, I've read other reviews, and they also have this problem. So that's the biggest downside, and it's honestly almost a deal breaker for me. Now, the next con I would say is the nib, which I said was a pro. It only comes in a medium, which I think is strange. Aurora makes their own nibs. Why can't they offer more in this? Why did they just say, oh, we're just going to do a medium? Bizarre. They have, if you have an Aurora Optima or 88, you have an extremely large amount of nibs to choose from, whereas with this you just get one. So I don't really like that. The other con is the price. It's $160 steel nib pen, so that's pretty expensive. This is more expensive than one of my absolute favorite pens, the Aurora Ypsilon, and I would say maybe I could see a case being made that you like the design better of this. Could certainly see that. Seems reasonable. You do get that bottle of ink, but it's pretty expensive. Now, it's not as bad as like the Waterman Expert 3, which I think is $250, and they don't even give you the converter. That is pretty much it. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.